This is what I want to show you. When you have a battery and an inverter like this, and this battery does not come with a communication cable, but one thing the manufacturer made available are the settings, the parameter settings that the battery must be set to, which are all these parameters here. So for optimum performance, we must input this value. The first value we must pay attention to is a low DC cutoff, which should be set to 24 volts, bulk charging voltage, which is supposed to be set to 27.8, and the float charging voltage to 27.5. So these parameters are what we are going to input on the inverter so that it can work optimally. Some people get it mixed up, they don't know how to set the inverter parameters, and I'm going to be showing you in this video. So the first thing you are going to do, any inverter, most hybrid inverter has all this configuration. They might twist it in different way. If you long press this arrow, then you are in the setting interface. Let me go back. This is not where we want to. This is the setting interface. So this O2 means the charging current, the overall charging current. That means that the current the inverter is going to use to charge with solar and also electricity. So this is set to 60 amps, which is moderate for a 5 kilowatts. Another important settings you must pay attention to is this use, which is what the manufacturer has recommended that we set the battery to. This use means user defined. What this user defined means is that you want to input your own parameter. There are other settings that you can choose instead of this use. You have lithium. Let me enter the settings again. So you can, instead of setting to user define, you can set it to lithium battery. But for this battery, the manufacturer asks us to use the setting user define. So under the user define, we are going to okay, this is the output voltage set to 220 volts, utility charging 30 amps. So this is exactly where I'm going to. Okay, this part is the CU, and on this label here, the CU is called the bulk charging voltage. So the bulk charging voltage, which is the CU, should be set as 27.8. That is what the manufacturer recommended, but I don't like to go to the upper limit. I just set it at 27.7. Another thing, the float charging voltage, we are advised to set it at 27.5, but I left it at 27.4. Another thing, this is the most important thing, the cutoff voltage is advised to set at 24 volts, and we have set it at 24 volts. So the implication of setting your cutoff voltage lesser than this 24 volts is that there are some situations whereby the battery can go completely drained. The battery will be drained completely, that you won't be able to wake it up again. That is if you set your cutoff voltage below the recommended cutoff voltage. So installers should avoid that mistake. Pay attention to your cutoff voltage. Is one of the most important settings, especially when your inverter is not communicating with your battery with the communication cable, and you have to set it to user define. Don't forget the flow charge. The bulk charge is to be set at 27.8. The flow charge is supposed to be set at 27.5, and the cutoff voltage, this I called it the most important of them all, is the cutoff voltage should be at 24 volts. I hope you learned something today. Thank you so much.